This is 97.3 Citi FM.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. We are having a show with Dr Paa Kwesi Ndoum, the flag bearer of the PPP. Doc, you on the day the president died, you issued a statement where you said you had suspended your campaign. I'm not too sure if you've reopened the campaign, so I'm a bit worried about what kind of question to ask you. Since on your website, on your Facebook page, you stated that you have suspended your campaign with immediate effect and reflecting on the fleeting nature of life with friends and family, and also wishing Ghanaians to do same as we mourn our president. Are you still in that mood, or?
Well, from the presidential campaign, there is no way that I can go out in public,
okay, and
stand up and wave to people and talk and ask them to vote for me. That can't happen. It hurts sensibilities and whatever. We have told our people to in this period sit together indoors, plan, organize themselves, take the time and use it productively to reflect upon what the campaign has been so far, what we need to do, how we need to do things a lot better so we can be successful, and so on and so forth. So definitely we've held meetings, indoor meetings, and we've traveled from place to place to let our people on this figure out how best to participate in the funeral and urge them to be active whenever they're invited in all that is going on, and basically be indoors. I should have spoken.
So no outdoor campaign.
No, I've spoken to. I should have spoken to the Graduate Students Association, which had been planned a long time ago, but decided not to. So I've basically turned down all invitations to go outside and speak to people in case even I am tempted to go and
but
say.
But you certainly can comment on certain
things.
national issues.
Oh, absolutely. And we could, because that is happening, and matters are going on. Indeed, let me let people know that we have told our people is that when and after the president is buried on the Friday, then they can begin campaigning. So definitely not on the Friday, but on Saturday we're saying our people can start to go out. On Sunday they can begin to go out. On Monday they can begin to go out. Indeed, we will restart. For me personally, we'll take the weekend off, and then on the Monday we will begin our campaign.
Doc, some analysts say that President Mills's demise and his death changes everything, even in respect of the nature of the campaign and even the kind of election this will be, possibly even some of the key issues, because some people feel that the NDC had always used President Mills's Asumdwe, his personal touch, as their key, apart from of course their performance. They like to project the man. So now that he's not there, it will be a different election, also in the sense that if you look at the ages, because one of the key things going for you before he died was the fact that you were one of the younger generation of people compared to he and his friend Nana Akufo-Addo. So it changed that aspect. Have you had the time to reflect on what this means for your electoral chances?
Well, it's difficult to say. Definitely, you take out President Mills, and a whole lot of things change. I mean, we were preparing campaign messages, videos, and all manner of other materials based on the image that the NDC was presenting, led by President Mills. And it has to change. It has to change. It changes for NDC itself. Now you've got a certain person who is there, and he brings his own character and appeal to the public and so on and so forth. His is different from that of President Mills. I'll give you an example. I mean, one of the things that I encountered everywhere I went, but in the central region and parts of western region, and interestingly enough, parts of Ashanti, was this Azuofia Oye issue. Many parts I went, it was presented to me. And even for the beginning of this new campaign, it was also staring me in the face. Now that element, for me, as far as NDC is concerned, is not there. So it brings change. It brings change, and change of a certain nature, which we have
which
to...
is positive for you think?
Well, we have to sit down and figure out what to do. And just thinking out loud, one thing that one can say to people, and I'm not talking about the Central Region people, because it's a challenge to the NDC people themselves, because they had so persisted in this Azuofioye matter that now can they use the Azuofie mantra again in any regard? Because if you take the people in the Central Region, or Fantis in general, one of the things that the Fantis had been saying, under their breath and indoors, all along has been, anytime anybody wants a vice presidential candidate, they go to the Central Region. De Krabbe Johnson was the candidate, the vice presidential candidate and vice president to Liman. Akka was to Rawlings. Mills was to Rawlings. And people there said, number two, why not number one? And eventually they got number one. And so that is a matter of contention in the Central Region. Whether it will be to anybody's advantage or disadvantage, well, we're here to find out. But there are a number of different things. And then you also have, you see, there's an element of the more things change, the more they remain the same. Because there isn't anybody that has been introduced in the system that is new. John Mahama is not new. Was there Rawlings' time, Mills' time, he's there now. Emisatha was there Rawlings' time, Mills' time, is there now. And so on and so forth. Baumia was there, is there now. Akufo-Addo was there, is there now.
But you were there,
I was
now.
there, I'm there now. I'm left to present a running mate, whether he or she would have been there and is there now. So it's a matter then of what is it that all of us would have done in the past because we had been there. What is it that we had done that inure to the benefit of Ghanaians that people should stand on to use as a reason, positive reason, to vote for any one of us? So there is a perfect opportunity now for us to engage in politics of what solutions do you have? What is it that is different that you can present? What are the solutions to the difficulties that face us? But in telling us whatever it is that you're going to say to us, let's not just come up with promises. Tell us what is it that you have done about that matter before.
But would you admit that Mr. Mahama is a more formidable candidate? For example, let me read a comment that Taiwo is participating in this on Google Plus. He's actually in Lagos. He wants your opinion on what's your opinion of President Mahama in how he's handled the country in the past couple of weeks. This is a question. It's almost like a trap he's setting for you. Taiwo is listening from Lagos. He wants to know what your view of Mahama is. And then the general question of how formidable he would be as an opponent versus Mills.
Well, if he wants to hear all of that, he will have to wait until we bury our late president.
Okay. Because
I can't sit here and get involved in, let's say, something that might seem too partisan today. But let us say that President Mahama brings definitely himself, brings his own orientation, brings his own experience and his own track record to the table. It is all of that we are going to examine. And as I told him when we went to the castle to pay him a visit, that it is going to be done vigorously, but it's going to be done with discipline and with respect. And we are hoping that everybody else will be prepared
Us by a number of people: Pa Kojokondia, Taiwo Ogundale, Eduetego, Mati Saidi, all hanging out with us. And I'll take some questions for them. I'll also take some phone calls for Dr. Ndoum. Let's understand that we are still in mourning. So he says he can't do full-blown politics, but they are critical national questions we want to ask. And if you have any of them to ask, you can call 028-922-6990. We'll take some calls for Dr. Ndoum, and we'll also hang out with some people. So maybe let me go to the Google Plus Hangout and take a comment or two for those of you who are viewing us. I have Taiwo Ogundale. He's viewing and chatting with us from Nigeria. Hi, Taiwo.
Hi,
Taiwo, good to have you. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, Citi FM. How are you guys doing?
We are very fine, thank you. So
Hello, doctor. Very nice to finally put a face to the name. I was going to ask, can you guys hear me?
yes, you are clear. Go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, I was going to ask, corruption is a major issue. Corruption is a major issue that plagues most African countries, especially one in which godfathers play a major role in helping to put people in power. I'm not sure if this is the case in Ghana, but just on a general level, what's your view on corruption, and how do you see your administration, if you come into power, being able to handle this?
Thank you, Taiwo, for
Especially
your
in
question.
Ghana where you have major godfathers.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, Taiwo, thank you, and I appreciate your participating in this. Indeed, one of the things we're going to talk about starting from next week, Monday, is about what we consider to be incorruptible leadership. Incorruptible leadership. Recognizing that we are human beings, recognizing that all of us have a past, recognizing that all of us may have done something that may not have inured to the benefit of everybody else in the past, but that we are setting a standard of incorruptible leadership to persistently and continuously attack corruption. And we believe by attacking corruption actively, that we would even more than double government revenue and be able to fund a lot of the ideas and policies that we are putting on the table. So definitely corruption for us is number one issue as far as this campaign is going to be starting from next week. And we will want to deal with it very visibly, very actively.
Okay, let me announce the line again. If you want to contribute to this program, you can call 028-922-6990. I have another person on the Google Plus. Ghana Decides. Actually, that's the name of a. So sounds like the name of a website. Good morning, Ghana Decides. You are live on Citi Breakfast Show.
Good morning. Yes, Ghana Decides is a social media project dealing with elections, and we want to ask Dr. Ndoum how he hopes to engage the youth into employment if he is in power.
Thank you, Ghana Decides. Interesting question.
Well, yes. Job creation is the number one matter, but it's the number one matter to everybody, and obviously, particularly the young people. And I don't want to engage in the ordinary platitudes, the things about transforming our economy, industrializing. Those are general words. Let's take a look at what all of us should know as low-hanging fruits. Right? We are in a country, we produce gold. There's no gold refinery in Ghana. It should be something that is quick, something that we find collaboration, private sector and the public sector to make it happen in this country. Okay, so we don't run to Dubai to go and buy gold chains and rings and so on and so forth. We create jobs here. We are in a country that produces cocoa. We send a lot of the cocoa out. Certainly, we need to process a lot of it, but we'll continue to send a lot of our cocoa outside. The sacks that the cocoa is transported in, we import them from Bangladesh and so on and so forth. It's a low-hanging fruit. We must, through, again, joint ventureship, produce cocoa sacks. It goes through the entire value chain here, all the way from the raw materials and so on and so forth. There's just many, many different things. We've got petrochemicals